हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदानश्चण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्रीशङ्कराचार्यस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। We can start. Kanchana Bhagini, you could hear me okay?
Sir, we can hear you, but I think Kanchana Bhagini is having problem.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Just now I joined, Mahodaya. What happened?
Okay. We start now. Once you are ready, we can start.
Oh, sorry. It's live stream. Yes, Mahodaya.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Banu Rekha Bhagini.
तसे विलग्वाशी कायमानसः त्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः.
Okay, good. There was some disturbance, but it was okay. Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Ahankaram balantarpam kamam krodam parigraham vimuchya nirmama shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Good.
Thank you.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय।
Namaste.
ब्रह्मभूतः प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिर्लभते पराम्।
Good.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय।
Namaste.
भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरम्।
Good.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
Bhagini, I'm not able to see the screen.
Oh, is that right? Just hold on, please.
Yes.
See you, but not the screen.
Now we can see.
Okay.
सर्वकर्माण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्व्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादादवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम्.
Good.
Lakshmi Bhagini.
चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तः सततं भव.
Good.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्त्वमहङ्कारात् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्षसि.
Good.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Yes, namaste. Namaste.
We had done this shloka yesterday, right?
No, sir, we haven't started.
Oh, you're not done it. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, okay.
No issue.
Yadahankaramashritya
Yadahankaramashritya Yadahankaramashritya
nayocha iti manyase.
Nayotya iti manyase Nayotya iti manyase
Yadahankaramashritya nayocha iti manyase.
Yadahankaramashritya Nayotya iti manyate Yadahankaramashritya Nayotya iti manyase.
Good. Next.
Lalita Bhagini.
Mityaisha vyavasayaste.
मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते
Prakrutistvam niyoksyati.
प्रकृतिस्त्वान् नियोक्ष्यति प्रकृतिस्त्वान् नियोक्ष्यति
Mityaisha vyavasayaste. Prakrutistvam niyoksyati.
मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वान् नियोक्ष्यति मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वान् नियोक्ष्यति.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
Yadahankaramashritya nayosya iti manyase. Mityaisha vyavasayaste. Prakrutistvam niyoksyati.
यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसास्यस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति
Yokshyati. Yoksh.
नियोक्ष्यति.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वान् नियोक्ष्यति.
Good. One more person.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वान् नियोक्ष्यति.
Okay, good. So in the earlier shloka, Bhagavan said that you keep your mind fixed on me, Machitta. Then Mat Prasadat Parishyasi Sarva Durgani. Then you will cross over the entire difficulties, Sarva Durgani obstacles. You will be able to cross over Mat Prasadat by my blessings to you, by my Anugraha. You will be able to cross over all the obstacles. Only thing that you may have to get your mind fixed on me. You have got to be devoted to me. Atachet, in case, anahankarat, out of your own ego, nastrosyasi, in case you are not going to listen to this kind of a decision, then what happens? Vinangsyasi, he says that you will only be losing out. Losing out means just because you have got an ego and then you are not doing what you are supposed to do by dedicating everything to me, if you are not listening to that, then you will not be able to attain the purpose of having taken a birth as a human being, and you will not be able to move towards spiritual wisdom. So that's what he said. So he said that you have to ensure that you are going to do what is to be done. That's what he said. But in case because of egoism, you say that I am not going to do this. Like Arjuna, he should not get into a situation of egoism and say, no, I am not going to fight. I am going to go only for sannyasa. Everybody has got a responsibility of discharging their duties. That is the fundamental principle of karma yoga. So he said that do not get onto your ego trips, and then do not, not listening to what is to be done will only lead you to destruction. So continuing with that, he says, Yad ahankara mastritya na yosya iti manyase. Manyase means he is talking to Arjuna straight away. in case you decide na yosya iti manyase because of your own ahankaram, because of your own ego, now if you decide that I will not fight, na yosya iti manyase, in case you decide that I am not going to fight, then the resolve that you take is mithya. Vyavasayaha te mithyaha. Whatever resolve that you say that I am not going to fight because of your kind of ahankara. Many times you will see people go on ego trips, suddenly they'll be having some kind of decision taken which is against their wish and not looking at the overall context of what action they should do. They just go on ego trip and say, no, I will not do this. Come what may, I won't do this. You would have seen that in the daily life, even in public places also, you find some people take a very stubborn stand as though they are right. So he says that in case you have a resolve like that, vyavasaya te, if you have a resolve like that, mithya, yesha mithya, that is all untrue because Tvam niyokshati prakriti. Niyokshati means the nature of you, the swabhava of you will compel you to get into this particular war. You may perhaps say that looking at all these things, I am not going to go and fight against my own kith and kin, against my own guru, etc. But what happens is that your swabhavam, prakriti means nature. By your own nature, you will be compelled to act on that. Though initially you may say that I am not going to fight. That is my resolve is not to fight. You may take an ego trip, but what happens is that over a period of time, the resolve will not be sustainable because that is not your swabhava, and you will yield to the pressures based on your own nature. Because Arjuna is a Rajasic person, Arjuna is a Kshatriya, Arjuna will not be able to take that kind of a stand when the war is called and the war is for a dharma because he's a Kshatriya. Naturally, he'll just immediately start acting upon it. Now the war has not started, and before that, all the discussions are taking place. Supposing the war has already started and some damages have taken, collateral damages have taken place on either side, it will become unstoppable for Arjuna because his Swabhava is a Kshatriya and Swabhava will take over him and Rajasic nature of him will be taking full control of him and he will be fighting it out. So he says that even if you decide, you resolve, you take Vyavasaya, if you take resolve, you take that I will not fight because of your ego, that is not sustainable because your Swabhava is a Kshatriya Swabhava, Rajasic Swabhava. So that will compel you, that will yokshati, that will compel you to fight. That's what Bhagavan says here. He says that ultimately the Swabhava will be the one that is going to pull you into action. Next.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय.
I may have to read it out, no? Shall I read it?
Lakshmi.
Yeah, who is that coming?
Yes, is it me you called?
Svabhavajena kaunteya.
Swabhavajena kaunteya. Swabhavajena kaunteya.
Nibaddhasvena karmana.
Nibaddhasvena karmana. Have I come at the wrong time? Maybe I misheard.
Yeah, proceed, Bhagini, proceed.
Okay. Nibaddhasvena karmana.
Svabhavajena kaunteya. Nibaddhasvena karmana.
Swabhavajena kaunteya. Nibaddhasvena karmana. Swabhavajena kaunteya. Nibaddhasvena karmana.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi, Bhagini.
Kartunnechasi yanmohat.
कर्तुन्नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् कर्तुन्नेच्छसि यन्मोहात्
Karishyasya vashopi tat.
करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्
Kartunnechasi yanmohat. Karishyasya vashopi tat.
कर्तुन्नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत् कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्.
Good. Next.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तद्.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्.
Good. Next.
Lakshmi, sorry. Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्.
So Bhagavan continues the same sloka that we saw in 1859. He said, Svabhavajena Kaunteya, O Arjuna, you are all bound by your own karma, by nature. Svabhavajena, bound out of your own nature. Nibaddaha, you have been tied and bound, Svena Karmana, for your Swakarma. Everybody is bound by nature to their own karma. Like if I am a Rajasic person, I am bound by Rajasic actions. No, it is not that I'll be able to overnight change over to a Sattvic person. No. So Swabhava Jena, by nature you are bound for your own personal karma, Swakarma. So Kartum Nachasi and Mohat. Now, because you are already bound by your own nature, which is Rajasic nature, and which is as a Kshatriya, you have to be a fighter and you are a fighter. Now, at this particular point in time, Yatu Mohat na ichasi kartum, because of delusion, because of your improper understanding, Mohat, na ichasi kartum, I am not interested in fighting, even if you are going to be telling like that, talking about like that, Karishyasya avashopi tate, what you will be doing is that you will be helplessly getting engaged into action. It is not possible for you to come out. Though you may say that I am not interested in doing this fight at this point in time, because it has been born out of your own svabhava, and this is also your swakarma, your own karma, then what happens is that you will be impelled to do it. Okay, by helplessly you'll be doing it. You may be thinking that I do not want to do it, but helplessly you will be doing it, though you may not be interested because of delusion. I do not want to do. Na ichasi, nechasi. Yan mohat. Why he says I will not fight is because of delusion, improper understanding. Yan mohat, na ichasi kartum. I do not want to do the fighting, though you may desire like that. Swabhava jena, because of your own nature, Karisya Chavashopesa. You will be doing that action, you will be doing the fighting, helplessly you will get into the fighting mode because you are Rajasic, you are a Kshatriya. So Bhagavan says that we are all greatly bound by our own Swakarma. What is naturally coming to us will automatically come in terms of any situations. So, and if it is going to be a Kshatriya, as per Dharma you have got to do, and Arjuna is a Dharmic person, naturally he will say that my Dharma is to protect, my Dharma is to fight, my Dharma is to ensure that Adharma does not creep in. I am trained for this fighting. So automatically at one inflection point, he will take up the arms and fight. That's what Bhagavan says in that particular sloka. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana kartum nechasi anmohat karisyasya pashopitat. Okay. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
Ishvara sarvabhutanam
ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां
हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति
हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति
Good. Next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि
भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि
यन्त्रारूढानि मायया
यन्त्रारूढानि मायया यन्त्रारूढानि मायया
भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया
भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhagini.
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
Good. One more person.
Lalita Bhagini.
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
Good. So now this in this shloka, earlier shloka also we saw that it happens naturally to Arjuna. Swabhavajena, he'll be able to take up that fighting. So then if you look at that way, in the next shloka, what Bhagavan says that Ishvaraha sarvabhutana hriddeshe Arjuna tishtati. Hriddeshe tishtati Arjuna. Arjuna, the Bhagavan, Ishvaraha is Lord. Lord is sitting in the Hridaya Deshe. Hriddeshe means in Hridaya Deshe, sarvabhutana, in all the living things, tishtati. He is seated in the Hridaya Desham of everybody. Hridaya Desham means normally, we always say heart. Primarily, we always say heart, but actually heart is only an organ. And if you look at the entire thing, the consciousness primarily enlivens the entire body, but one of the most important parts of the body which has got to get enlivened is the buddhi, mind. Okay, so primarily, when you say heart, you have to understand that in Vedanta, the heart is in a buddhi. Heart means that it happens, the consciousness is enlivening the buddhi, and through the buddhi, a person is able to understand understand everything. The knowledge takes place in the buddhi, and buddhi is the place which is getting the reflected consciousness to know everything. Okay, so it is not to be misunderstood that inside the heart there's going to be a small place, and in that small place, Bhagavan or Atma is sitting. No, that is not like that. Consciousness pervades the entire body, and consciousness gets reflected in the body-mind complex, reflected primarily in the Sukshma Sariram, Plastic reflects, and the reflected consciousness in the body becomes the Jivatma. We have studied that in the 16th or 17th chapter in a very detailed manner. So the reflected consciousness in the Sukshma Shariram becomes the Jivatma, which enlivens the Sukshma Sthula Shariram of body. Okay, that's what we have studied. So it is something like we discussed about sunlight as one of the metaphors. We also discussed it as Akasha as one of the metaphors in trying to understand the consciousness. Consciousness pervades even a dead body. Only thing is in the dead body, the reflecting medium is not present. The reflecting medium is a Sukshma Shariram. So primarily what happens is that the consciousness has to get reflected in the Sukshma Shariram. And the Sukshma Sharirams, the most important Sukshma Shariram of a person is the mind. The intellectual mind is the buddhi. So that is the most important part of the Sukshma Shariram. And that is where everything is going to get reflected. Understanding Bhagavan, understanding everything, understanding the knowledge, everything takes place only in that. And so, if you look at that way, yeah, today what happens is that that kind of consciousness that is Brahman is available to everybody. It is available to a person who has got, is a jnani, a sannyasi, a jnani, a pandita who has got the wisdom. For him also the consciousness is available, which is known to his buddhi. It is also available to a person who does not even have any kind of a belief in spirituality. For that person also the consciousness is available. The only difference is that in the case of the person who is a jnani or the person who is a wisdom, has got a very good wisdom of understanding what is consciousness and what is the true nature of the individual, for him it is something like a coin which is available in a bottom of a pure Ganga water, which is possible to be seen. It is reflected because the water is absolutely pure. That is the mind. When the mind is absolutely pure, they are able to have a very clear understanding of consciousness. So the purity of mind is Antakarna Chuti, which we have been talking right from the third chapter or second chapter in terms of Karma Yoga being the one that is going to prepare the mind for the knowledge. That is the clear water of what you see in Ganga. Whereas the other non-believer is also having the consciousness, but he cannot see it. That is because he is not able to understand. It's like a turbid water. The turbid water, even the gold is available at the bottom, he cannot see. So that is the difference. So if you look at Ishvara, the consciousness, Sarva Bhutanam Tishtati Hridaya Hridaya Deshe. It is there available to everybody in form of enlivening the individual and enlivening the buddhi. Okay. Then what is happening? If you look at that way, the entire action, the Sukshma Sariram is able to make the Sthula Sariram to act. Only the presence of the Sukshma Sariram, that is the Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Pranayaha, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, these things are a part of Sukshma Sariram. Only when they are there, the body is able to be functional. Otherwise, this is a kind of inert body. So, presence of the Sukshma Shariram makes this body to function. So, Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani. Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani means it is revolving. All the bodies are able to revolve. The metaphor that we can take is that you have got a kind of a merry-go-round is there. The merry-go-round, you have got lot of small toys like you will have a lion, you have got elephant, you have got horses, etc. Children and even old people, they sit on to that. And then the entire thing goes round and round and round. And it goes round and round and round. And everybody only look at what is all happening. They see the thing going round and round and round. Some of them go up, some of them go in different directions and go. Merry-go-round is going. And everybody is either enjoying sitting in that, or they are able to see what is all. So outsiders are able to see this merry-go-round going. But there is somebody who is operating the merry-go-round, sitting away, and nobody has noticed that person at all. That person silently operates the merry-go-round, and the merry-go-round is just going on, and we are all only obsessed with seeing what is happening in the merry-go-round, or we are sitting in the merry-go-round enjoying them. Similarly, the entire activities in the body-mind complex is all activated by the consciousness. Ishvara. So what is the Ishvara doing? Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani. He is putting everything into a kind of revolution, everything into a kind of action. The entire Jagat is in action. Sun is moving, Jupiter is moving, Pluto is moving, Earth is rotating. Everything has been done by Bhagavan in terms of the law of nature is going on. Yantra Rudhani. He has been able to put everything together. Like the way a machine is assembled and then the machine is able to activate. Yantra Rudhani, Bhagavan has put by his Maya, because of his Maya, he has put all those kinds of things and then makes everything to keep executing. So everything will start executing. The world, the sun will move, the moon will move, the earth will move, And all of us will also have our own Prakriti. Because of Prakriti, we also will move. So everything is moving. But who is the mover? The mover is the consciousness. The mover is the Ishvara. So he says that Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. There is one consciousness which is there in you, which is there in every one of us. Hrideshe Arjuna is Tishtati. He is available in all of you in the Buddhi. You can take her. Hridaya Deshe. You take it if you want to understand. You can take it like that. But primarily it is the enlightening the Buddhi. Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani. It is the one that activates all the human, all the living beings like the way an equipment or a machine is being assembled. So, in similar way, this body-mind complex is assembled by the Maya. Maya is the one that has the creative power of the nature. Beyond the creative power, everything has been assembled. Everything is going on, and there is one Ishvara who is sitting there silently, like the operator of the merry-go-round. And in the presence of him, everything is going on. The entire chara, charam, everything is all happening because of that. And that is also present in you. And you also have, Bhagavan has also told Arjuna about the nature of oneself in terms of getting into his own Swabhava action. And he's also once again telling whatever he has told in the Jnana Yoga, etc., that it is again that individual who is sitting there and making everything activated. Okay. Actually speaking, he is an akarta. Consciousness is the akarta, but in the presence of the consciousness, everything else is happening. So Bhagavan says, Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Hrideshe Arjuna. So what is the most important thing? The presence of consciousness. And what is consciousness? Consciousness is nothing but Brahman. And consciousness is nothing other than the individual nature. So that is what is Bhagavan is now trying to slowly come to here, tell him that at the end of the day, everything is happening because of the Brahman, and everything is happening because of the Brahman sitting in you, and the Brahman sitting in you is your own nature, Arjuna. So, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Siddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantrarudani Mayaya. Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
Tameva Sharanam Gaccha.
तमेव शरणं गच्छ तमेव शरणं गच्छ
Sarvabhavena Bharata.
सर्वभावेन भारत सर्वभावेन भारत
Tameva Sharanam Gaccha. Sarvabhavena Bharata.
तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत.
Good. Next.
Gurumurti Mahodaya.
Tatprasadat Param Shantim.
Tatprasadat Param Shantim. Tatprasadat Param Shantim.
Sthanam Prapsyasi Shashvatam.
Sthanam Prapyasi Shashvatam. Sthanam Prapyasi Shashvatam.
Good.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Tatprasadat Param Shantim. Sthanam Prapsyasi Shashvatam.
Tatprasadat Param Shantim. Sthanam Prapyasi Shashvatam. Tatprasadat Param Shantim. Sthanam Prapyasi Shashvatam.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Tameva Sharanam Gaccha. Sharat Chavanji, I think there is something happening in your computer and it is putting line all over the place. Can you please take care of it? Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Sarvabhavena Bharata Tatprasadat Param Shantim Sthanam Prapsyasi Shashvatam.
तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम्.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bagini.
तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम्.
Good. One more person, please.
Krishna Pavani Bagini.
तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम्.
Good. So Bhagavan now says that earlier he said Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Nityeshe Jyotishtati. He said that Ishvara is present in the Hridaya Desha of the entire living beings. That's what Bhagavan had told. Now he is the one who is going to make all these things happen. Many things are happening. Ramayan Yantra Rudani Mayaya. That's what was being done by the internal force. In the absence of that, nothing can happen. And what Bhagavan now says is that now having understood Bhagavan through Karma Yoga and then through Jnana Yoga and then having full knowledge of what it is, then Tameva Sharanam Gaccha. You start surrendering yourself to Him. You have to understand that we have been born. There was no consent taken from us. Oh, so and so, would you like to be born in the earth at so and so place, so and so time? Nobody has asked the consent. We have been born. We have got no control on that. We have been given whether a girl baby or a boy baby, no choice on that. This father, this mother, no choice of that. This color, that color, no choice of that. So everything, nothing is in our control. If you look at that way in our life, we think that we are the superior masters, etc. And the ego goes into our health, ourselves in such a big manner. At the end of the day, you'll find that everything is given to us. Everything is given to us right from the body. We had no choice of that. So we cannot be proud of anything because everything has been given to us. So it has been given to us by what? It has been given to us by Prarabdha or law of karma or Ishvara. So understand that that particular Ishvara is a part of you itself. Tameva Sharanam Gaccha. Understand that you are no one in the absence of that. You have to first make a kind of understanding of your own limitations, your own capabilities, and your own what you have accomplished. So what you do is first acknowledge that it is something beyond me. So Tameva Sharanam Gaccha. You first have an attitude of surrendering to that particular Ishvara. Sarva Bhavena in all aspects. Maybe emotional aspect you can surrender to Him. Karma Yoga you can surrender to Him. Whatever you think that I got, you surrender it to Him. Sarva Bhavena. In totality, Sarva Bhavena in totality, wholeheartedly, without any kind of inhibition, you surrender to Him. Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Sarva Bhavena Bharata. Tat Prasadat Param Shanti. Once you are able to ensure that you have got your own roles and responsibilities, I am delivering my roles and responsibilities the way it has got to be delivered in the situation. My responsibility is that I am got to respond to a situation. The situation has not been brought by me, but situation I need to face, I will have to face it. I had to face this war in the Kurukshetra, so I will have to fight the war in the way I am supposed to fight based on my dharma and based on the kind of body constitution I have and based on my role and responsibility. So with that is the only attitude that we need to have, that I need to act. I cannot say that I will not act and then everything will be fine. You cannot have an ostrich mentality. All of you may know that when in the face of a kind of danger, an ostrich starts putting its head into the mud, thinking that the danger will not be, it can escape the danger. It is not possible. When you are faced with a situation in line with dharma, you have got to act. And then by acting, we have already learned so much that karma yoga attitude is there, prasada bhava is there. So once you say that prasadat, I'll do everything, I'll have the bhava that I wholeheartedly will do things. I'll also surrender myself to the Lord Ishvara, who is a part of me. And then whatever is a prasadam I am getting only, I'll take. And I will also get a prasadam with this attitude of surrender. What prasadam I get? Param Shantim. I'll be able to get absolute peace. Param Shantim. And then Shashpatam Sthanam, eternal abode will be possible, which is moksha. So Bhagavan says that all these things are a kind of, you have got no control, but you have to understand your limitations but you have to understand dharma, you have to understand law of karma, you have to understand your roles and responsibilities, surrender yourself to that. Do not get carried away by, I, mine, etc. Ahankara, mamakara, all the chajed. That's what he said. And then whatever is going to get, ultimately, you will be gaining moksha, which is nothing but param shantim and shashvata sthanam. So he says that when you do all these kinds of things, you'll be able to achieve that. So Bhagavan, earlier he was talking about jnana yoga. Now he is again telling that through karma yoga also, you will be able to achieve moksha by a sense of surrender. But doing what is to be done, that is what is important. So tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tatprasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Next.
Anupama Bhagini.
Iti te jnanamakhyatam
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातम् इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातम्
guhyat guhyataram maya
गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया
iti te jnanamakhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातम् गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातम् गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया.
Good.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Vibhrushyaitada
विमृशैतदशेषेण विमृशैतदशेषेण
yatechasi tatha kuru.
यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु
Vibhrushyaitada yatechasi tatha kuru.
विमृशैतदशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु विमृशैतदशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Iti te jnanamakhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vibhrushyaitada yatechasi tatha kuru.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातम् गुह्याद् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतदशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
Full sloka.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतदशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
Good. One more person.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्याद् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतदशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
Good. So now Bhagavan says that iti, thus. So far whatever he has talked about, thus. Guhyat guhyataram jnanam. The most secret of secrets, the most secretive knowledge. You remember the 9th chapter itself, we started talking about Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yogam. Bhagavan said it is a Guhya. Guhya means secretive. Why this jnanam is called secretive is that the knowledge of Atma is not possible to be objectified. It is not something that you can say that this is Atma, Dhanya. So it is not possible to have any kind of pramana for that. You don't have any kind of objectification for that. So there has got to be a lot more of understanding of many things to understand what is going to be jnana. So because it is extremely difficult, Though all of us are having the Atma and Brahman inside ourselves, despite hearing Bhagavad Gita and learning so many things, we are still not able to have a full hold of what is Atma. I'm sure that all of us have got a you got some understanding. You got a good understanding that Atma is definitely the consciousness which is saved with everybody, that is Brahman. That understanding is always there with all of us, but we are yet to still get into what is that. So that is becoming a secretive thing. I know that this is what is that I need to identify, but I'm still searching where it is, how to search it. So it's called the Guhyat Guhyataram Jnanam. This particular knowledge, which is the most secretive knowledge, iti thus Akyatam te maya. Akyata means has been explained or has been told to you, te, by me. I have already told this most important, most secretive knowledge. I have explained it to you. And Aseshena, he also said that I have told you completely. He said that I talked to you about the nature of the Atma, I talked to you about the nature of sannyasa, I talked to you about nature of karma yoga, I talked to you about what is creation, what is paraprapti, aparaprapti, then I told you about different types of bhakti. So whatever things that he has told, no, I told everything. All those kinds of detailed explanation is because this knowledge is not objectifiable, and so it has got to be inferentially understood. We have got to understand it. So Bhagavan has put so much of efforts in terms of Aseshena. He said, I have completely taken so much of effort in telling you all these things. Okay. So now this knowledge has been imparted to you. Now he says to Arjuna, Yat ichasi tata kuru. Now you decide whatever you think you want to do, you do. Okay. So now this is what we have to understand very clearly. Bhagavan, he has been a teacher. A teacher can only teach. If the teacher has taught, and then the student has got to act. Not the teacher is going to write the examination. A teacher will only teach. The student has to go and write the examination and pass. Here, Bhagavan has taught him. He is a teacher. He has told him everything. And Arjuna has got to understand, and he has got to only act. So Bhagavan said, Yadi ichasi tata kuru. Whatever you think you have got to do, you do. Because I have given you a holistic perspective of everything. The second chapter, first chapter, you said, I do not want to fight because I do not want to fight against Bhishma. I do not want to fight against Drona. I do not want to fight against Kripacharya and my own kith and kin. You had emotion, but you did not have the knowledge. You didn't have the knowledge of Atma. You didn't have the knowledge of Karma Yoga. You didn't have the knowledge of Jnana Yoga. You didn't have the knowledge of Bhagavan. You didn't have the knowledge of Bhakti. I have told everything now. So now it is up to you, gentlemen, to decide what is to be done. You do. Okay, if that is not the case, then Bhagavan would have done everything in the second chapter. No, there's no need for telling Arjuna. This is what is to be done. He did not have given him a teaching. He was no, it is my Adesha. Please go and kill Drona and come. Now, another half an hour time, next half an hour time, go and kill Bhishma and come. He didn't do that. He said that you need to understand this. This is the jnanam. This, understand this, and then you act upon. So that is the reason Bhagavan has told, Yati ichasi tata kuru. He is now not taking responsibility. He says, you are an individual, you are a person with a free will, you are the person to get knowledge, you are the person to become a moksharthi. So with all these kinds of things, please Arjuna, whatever you want now, for which I have given you everything. You told me, Achadimam Tam Prabhamnam. You told me in the second chapter, I am surrendering to you. Please let me know what is that I have, how do I know? And I have taken all these trouble to explain as to what all the various kinds of factors. It is something like a management presentation, you know. You go and then you say that you want to have an investment of $100 million for setting up a new factory at Indore. Then what do? We cannot simply go to the management and say, I want to set up a factory. You have to give a kind of total picture of what is that, why do you want this, what are the implications, what are the plus points, what are the negative points, how do I manage the negatives, how are we going to ensure the overall compliance to the rules and regulations, how the business is going to be 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now, what are the limitations of the plan, how do I take care of this plan, what are the mitigation plans that I have. So then the management will look at it and say, okay. So that means that you are thoroughly have to analyze everything and then you are recommending because somebody has to sign that. Here Bhagavan said that I have given you all the template of how do you evaluate what is to be done. I also told you how to evaluate. Now you evaluate and then decide what you have got to do, whether you want to fight this war or not fight the war. It is your call. That's what Bhagavan said. So that means that he says that you have to get jnanam. Once you have got the jnanam and understanding, then you should have a free will to act. And you should also act as per the dharma. You should act as per your svabhava. And that is your responsibility. I can take the horse to water, but I will not make it drink. And here Bhagavan says very clearly, I will not make it drink. It is you. Okay, so iti te jnanamakyatam guhyataram maya vimushyaitad asheshena yat ichasi tata kuru. Next, please.
Lakshmi Bhagini.
Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyah.
Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyaha.
Shrudu
Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyaha.
me paramau vachah.
Shrunu me paramau vachaha. Shrunu me paramau vachaha.
Sarvaguh. I have a skipped one sloka in between. No, no.
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
Mahodaya.
No, Mahodaya.
Okay. Sorry. Right. Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyah. Shrudu me paramam vachah.
Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyaha. Shrunu me paramau vachaha. Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyaha. Shrunu me paramau vachaha.
Good. Next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
Ishtosi me dridabiti.
इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति
Tato vakshyami te hitam.
ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम् ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्
Ishtosi me dridabiti. Tato vakshyami te hitam.
इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम् इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमौ वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमौ वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
सर्वगुह्यतं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
Good. Next.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
सर्वगुह्यतं भूयः शृणु मे परमौ वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
Okay. So Bhagavan he now says Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyah Shunume Paramam Vachah. He says that the most secretive thing, whatever we have been talking about, again I'll talk to you about that Paramam Vachah, the most secretive, the most supreme thing I'll talk to you. The thing is that why I am doing is Dridamiti Ishtosi me. You are very, very dear to me. Dridamiti means definitely Ishtosi me. You are very dear to me. Tataha, hence Vakshyami te hitam. That is the reason why I am again telling you for the good of everyone. For the good of everyone, I am again telling you. And then he is just telling that I am once again telling you, I am going to tell two more slokas, that is 65 and 66. And then I am going to complete Bhagavad Gita. And I am once again harping on this because you are very dear to me. So I am going to once again talk about this secret. Sarva Gukhya Tamam Bhuyah Shunume Paravam Bhajah. Again, you listen to me of the supreme words that I'm going to say, because definitely Dridamiti me ishtosi, you are very, very definitely, you are very, very dear to me. Tataha, hence, I am going to tell again for the good. Next two more slokas that I'm going to talk about, where Bhagavan is going to say that he is going to quickly sum up the Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, because these two are the ones which is really going to be the driving principles of the entire worldly life. So you may remember, no? I think chapter 4, I think Bhagavan was telling Lokesmin Vividha Nishta Pura Prokta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Sankyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. He said that there are only two styles of life possible for a human being who is going to be pursuing moksha. See, Dharma Artha Kama Moksha, we are not taking into account Dharma Artha Kama. These are all for Laukika people. Those people who want to have spiritual growth and who are going to be in the path of moksha as the ultimate purpose of life, ultimate goal of life. For them, Bhagavan has told that there are only karma yogena yogina, sankhya yogena, dvivida nishta, pura prokta, lokesmin dvivida, lokesmin dvivida nishta, there are two nishta, lokesmin dvivida nishta, pura prokta majanaga, jnana yogena sankhyana, karma yogena yogina. He said these are the only two lifestyles one has to take. With these two lifestyles only, with a full understanding of Karma Yoga or Karma Yoga working on the mind and then getting the Jnana and then understanding the Jnana thoroughly by Sravana and Nididhyasam. These are the only two ways by which somebody will be able to ascend the spiritual thing. And with all this teaching that he has been telling, he is going to sum it up with the next two verses. Okay, so that's what he said. I will Bhakshyami for the good I'm going to tell. So what is he telling now? Yeah, please.
Lalita Bagini.
Manmana bhava madbhaktaha.
Manmana bhava madbhaktaha. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha.
Madhyaji man namaskuru.
Madhyaji man namaskuru. Madhyaji man namaskuru.
Manmana bhava madbhaktaha. Madhyaji man namaskuru.
Manmana bhava madbhaktaha. Madhyaji man namaskuru. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha. Madhyaji man namaskuru.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bagini.
Ame vaishyasi satyante.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bagini. Okay. Bhanureka Bagini.
मामे वैश्यसि सत्यन्ते मामे वैश्यसि सत्यन्ते
Tijane priyosi me.
प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे
Ame vaishyasi satyante. Pratijane priyosi me.
मामे वैश्यसि सत्यन्ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे मामे वैश्यसि सत्यन्ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi Bagini.
Full shloka, sir.
Yes, yes.
Manmana bhava madbhaktaha. Madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishyasi satyam te. Pratijane priyosi me.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bagini.
मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मत्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यन्ते प्रतिजाने प्रिय.
Bhava, you always have your mind fixed on me. Manmana Bhava. Mad Bhaktaha, always be devoted to me. Madhyaji, whatever you are doing as a yajna, do it for my sake. So when you look at a yajna, yajna is a selfless service. Yajna is the thing that we do for the sake of others. Kayena, Vacha, Manasa, all these yajna, Mam. So whatever you are doing, you do it for my sake. Mam Namaskuru, you do salutations to me, you do namaskarams to me. So when you are able to have an attitude, when you are able to understand that the entire creation, the substratum of everything is the Bhagavan, and the same Bhagavan is also in you, the entire loss of karma is Bhagavan because of Bhagavan. The dharma is all because of Bhagavan. When you know everything is Bhagavan, and also the very substratum of you, the very nature of you is also Bhagavan, then try to now, instead of going externally, go internally, and then ensure that manmana bhava. You always try to ensure that you are able to get always mind is connected to me. Mad bhaktaha. Bhakti, I think I'm sure that all of you would have understood the stages of bhakti. We have done that 5 different stages of bhakti. And he says, you become my devotee. Okay. Bhakti means this is we have got a very thorough knowledge of bhakti, the spiritual bhakti, the wisdom bhakti. That's what is now talked about. Mad bhaktaha, madhyaji, do anything, any worship that is being done, do it for me and be salutations to me. If you do all these things, these are all the sadhanas. If you look at that way, bhakti is a sadhana. Then meditating on Bhagavan is a sadhana. Doing this kind of yagas and yajnas is a sadhana. What is the purpose of all these sadhana? You have to have a sadhya. There has to be goal. What is that particular goal? Becoming, getting with to God. Mame Aishyasi, you will be able to reach me. You will be able to get connected with me, which means that you will be able to become one with me. Mame Vaishyasi. And then what he says, Satyam. This is truth. Te, Pratijal. And he says, Te Pratijale. I am promising you because you are Priyosi me. You are very dear to me. So I am promising it to you that you put your mind to me, your bhakti to me, your yajnas to me, and you be doing salutations to me, then what happens is that you ultimately reach my own self. Now we have to understand, why Bhagavan Krishna is so selfish, that he is telling that, you only worship me. I am a Shiva Bhakta, I am a Devi Bhakta, I will not worship. No, we have to understand it from the perspective of Brahman. The Brahman is the all-pervading Brahman, and the all-pervading Brahman is the one, Ishvaraha Hriddeshe Juna, it is only already a part of you, Aham Brahmasmi. From that context, you have to understand. It is not Lord Krishna that you are going to look at it. You are going to look at it from the principle of God. From that principle of God, ultimately, when you are able to have this kind of an attitude, that I am going to be connected with Bhagavan by mind, mentally, or by my worship, or by my bhakti, or by my own salutations, then with a very clear understanding of how I am going to, how I get my knowledge, very clear understanding of how I do my karma yoga, then with all those kinds of things, I start merging myself with Bhagavan. Mame Eshyasi Satyam. He says that you will be able to merge into me. Vishate. Yesterday we saw that word. They will be able to enter into me. So you will be able to be a part of me. You will be able to get into me. Mame Eshyasi. You will be able to reach me. Reaching me is that a person is able to understand that Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi. That is the understanding that somebody is going to get. It is not that he is going to be different. He is going to be inside Bhagavan. Bhagavan is in the master bedroom. I am in the next bedroom. No. Everything is merged. The river water has merged into the sea, and there's nothing to distinguish what is sea and what is river. That is the Mame Vaishi Satyam Te Pratijane. I am promising you. Because why? Priyo Asi Me. You are very dear to me. So Bhagavan says that anybody who is going to be in the spiritual journey, and anybody who is going to put all these efforts of knowing me, I am going to be very dear to them. I am going to be available to them. I will ensure that I will provide them with kind of guidance which is going to help them in terms of reaching me. So Manmana Bhava Mad Bhaktaha Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishya Satyam De Pratijane Priyosi Me. So we'll take one more sloka and then
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
Sarvadharman Parityajya
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य
Mamekam Sharanam Vraja
मामेकं शरणं व्रज मामेकं शरणं व्रज
Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Aham tva sarva papepyah
अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः
mokshayishyami ma shuchah
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः sorry मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः
अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः
अहं
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः।
अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणौ व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः।
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणौ व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Good. So with this sloka, technically Bhagavad Gita ends, because Bhagavad Gita actually started in sloka number 11 of chapter 2. Ashocyananvashocastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gadasunagasuncha na anushocanti panditaha. He said that na anushocanti pandita, they don't worry, they don't grieve. So in this sloka, Bhagavan completes that I'll relieve you. Ma Shucha, do not worry, do not grieve. So Arjuna started in the Bhagavan started addressing Arjuna's shoka. Okay, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. He was in the second chapter. He started after that Arjuna Vishada. He had understood Arjuna's sorrow. Then Bhagavan started in the 11th sloka about Ashocha and Anvashocha. So you are unnecessarily getting worried. That's what he told in the 11th sloka of second chapter. And from there only the Gita Upadesham starts. Actually, the Gita, the knowledge imparting of knowledge to Arjuna is over with this, because he says, Ma Shuchaha, don't worry. What does he say? Oh, don't worry. He said, Sarvadharman Parityacha. That is, you give up all your dharmas, whether it is going to be adharma or dharma or papa or punya, whatever you have got so far, no, just give it up with me. He says, Tvameva Sharanam Gacha. He said, earlier he said that you just Mameva Sharanam. That's what he said. You just surrender everything to me. So similarly, he says, now give up all your things, give up everything. You say that there's nothing other than me nothing other than Bhagavan for me. With that kind of attitude, give up all your dharmas, give up everything that you have, all your possessions, all your papas, all your punyas, dharma, adharma, whatever is there into your account, you give it to me. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. And then just take refuge in me. Then Aham, I will ensure Swam Sarva Pavepya, across all these kinds of papa, punya, whatever you have, because if you have papa, you may also have punya, and if you have papa and punya, then it is also going to give you a janma, karma, samsara cycle is going to be there. He says that I'll try to nullify everything, I'll reconcile all your accounts, sarva papepyaha, I'll reconcile everything, and then what do? Moksha yishyami, I'll ensure that you are liberated. So he says that we have to get that knowledge. With that knowledge, you got to start acting. With that acting, you do the acting without any kind of selfish acting. You understand the entire concept, and then you just do everything as Ishvara Arpana. And then the Ishvara Arpana, not only for the karmas, you also do the Ishvara Arpana of your Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Ishvara Arpana of Manmana Baba. You become a part of, you give your mind towards me. Mad Bhaktaha, you become devoted to me. Mad Yaji, you start worshipping me. You do everything, and then you do also whatever is supposed to be expected out of you as per dharma, and then do not expect any kind of results with that kind of thing, and then you give given up everything. Ishvara and that prasada buddhi, and even prasadam I don't want, you take it, I am only surrendering myself. That is the way you surrender. Then Bhagavan says that I am going to ensure that you will be wiped out of all your sarva pavepya, moksha yishyami, I will liberate you. Ma shucha, do not worry. So with this, the Bhagavad Gita actual teaching is over. And then there are some more slokas which will be taking it up tomorrow and day after and complete the actual 18 chapters that is there listed in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so I'll complete today's Yadahankaramashritya Nayotsya iti manyase मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां विनियोक्ष्यति स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत् ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम् इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमुष्यैतदशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमौ वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितं मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैष्यसि सत्यन्ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणौ व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि